Hello, my fellow foam flinging enthusiasts. My name is Andrew, aka Dart Sweep, and welcome to another very fun foam flinging filled episode of the Foam Zone. Appreciate everyone joining us again this evening. Hope everyone has been doing great, been having a great week, had a great last week. Hope everyone's been getting a chance to fling some foam. But again, appreciate everyone that is able to join us for this evening's live stream show. We have a very cool, very fun guest that I'm super excited to talk shop with. So we'll be introducing our guest later on during the show. But first, introductions. Again, welcome to the Foam Zone. With the World Foam Alliance, if this is your very first time visiting us, watching the Foam Zone, we are a bi-weekly live streaming, essentially a talk show, interview show where we invite guests all throughout the foam flinging hobby. It doesn't matter what you are, who you are, what you do, what you like, what you don't like. As long as you have passion for foam flinging, the same as we do, that's what we're about. We invite you on to the show and we talk foam flinging. So if that is something you're interested in, if you're a club organizer, club admin, you do HVZ, if you're a player, modder, designer, anyone that has any passion for foam flinging, and you want to be on the show, please feel free to reach out, send us a DM, and we'll do our best to get you on here. We got 2 live streaming shows between the Foam Zone and Get Off My Lawn, so I'm sure we'll get you on one of them, and we want to have you on all of them, actually. So again, appreciate you all, and thanks for joining us. The World Foam Alliance is going to be your central hub, essentially, to connect to all your fellow foam flingers, to find all your local events, to create events, your resource hub, to generate some crowdfunding or create your own events. So once that is up and running, you'll be able to register yourself, a club, type in where your location is, and then start getting connected. And then we'll build it from there. And you know the saying, it takes a village, and we are that village. Let's do it together. So let's see. Who do we have in the chat tonight? It says we have 10 people, so welcome 10 people. That means we should have 10 thumbs up, likes. I only see 3. I think we can do better, guys. So appreciate if you guys would give us thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz. Tell your friends, tell your families who we are, what we're doing, what our mission is, what all of our mission is. I think there's a theme that's been going on. If you can't tell, but with all the last guests, I think everyone that we've had on recently in the past, or just generally speaking, our goal is the same. It's conducive to each other. It's about spreading and outreach and letting everyone know how much fun there is to foam flinging, and the community that's involved is like no other. Sometimes it gets you tongue-tied and speechless. You don't know what to say. But yeah, so welcome. Let's see who we have in the chat. We got our good friend AJ Usag in the house. Hope everything is doing well. Keep up the good work, my friend. We got Devin Tilley, B&B Indoor Foam Dart Arena. I just want everyone to know you should go to B&B's socials, check them out, hit subscribe, like, all that stuff. They're located in Tennessee, indoor arena. And they have an event called Blitzfire, and they are moving that to quarterly events. So if you're interested in that, look for more information, follow them, show them your support. We want to see all these businesses succeed. So go ahead, show them your support, and look for more information for that. We got General Strife in the house. What is good, my brother? Good to see ya. We got FNC, Foam News Collective. I was just going to say, at some point, there was a new episode that was released last week. Lots of good information, good recap on the comp scene from Rag and from North Shore Nerf War up in New England. So go check that out. A lot of good blaster news. Welcome. Hello, Foam News Collective. And if you're not subscribed to them, I don't know what you're doing here. You definitely should have been subscribed to them and before ever coming here. So make sure you go show them some love. We got DMF. DMF is in the house. Welcome, my friend. Good to see ya. What is up, players? Good to see ya. People just trickling in. We'll let them come in. But yeah, again, welcome everyone that is here. Appreciate you guys. We are doing the work together. And at some point, we're just going to go down the list if we haven't already. Everyone that's in here is going to be on the foam zone at some point. So again, much love to everyone that has been able to join us this evening. We'll get started momentarily. But in the meantime, again, give us that thumbs up, subscribe, like, all that jazz. Let's see who's in the chat. Oh, everyone is still here. Cool. Excellent. Cool. Well, has anyone seen any blasters or gotten a chance to try anything out or seen anything they're super excited for? I know that the ZW, what is it, 400 or that really cool looking bullpup that Autodarts teased is being promoted. So that looks like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing that on the field. Looks like it's got variable performance anywhere between, it was looking like I think out of the box it had to hit 150, but it can go all the way up to like 350. And out of darts will have the modification spring swaps and barrels to get there. But if you're a bullpup springer lover, fan, go ahead and raise your hand and let us know your thoughts. And if you're looking forward to seeing that, I may be mistaken with the name. If someone wants to correct me on that. AJ said they picked up the Boomco Needler, waiting to trade the Titan Mag. Forged, I hope you're trading something for a Titan Mag, because that would be respectable. Anything is worth trading for a Titan Mag, in my opinion, these days. So, who said Ursa Major? Ursa Major said they had a Titan drum down in Virginia. It was about a 3-hour drive, and I'm still debating, or I'm not debating. I want to do it. At some point, I just got to make the trek and go down there and pick it up. I'm holding Ursa Major to that. So, but yeah, I went to the Battle of Endor last weekend, was it? Or was the weekend before? I'm not sure. All the days are melting together. But I did have a chance to play a little bit when I was not helping run the games and filming. But I did have a chance to run last weekend, or the weekend, Endor weekend, whatever it was. The Stagecoach. And I want to thank Out of Darts and Dr. Flux for hooking me up with this gorgeous, beautiful build. I mean, you guys know the price tag on this. So Out of Darts, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys over there. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if the camera can show the detail, but if you check out Maritime Foams and Flux's video and Boomstick Mods videos, they have really good overviews, and you can see their colorway. I was asked what I wanted for a colorway. I said, surprise me, but if I had to choose, give me something along the lines of the DZ Red and the DZ Accent Blue from the original Mark 1.1, or the 1.1, yeah, that's what it was, and the 1.2, I don't know if the 2 had the accent on it, but absolutely gorgeous. And again, you can see that. Is it practical? Debatable. I mean, I have a ton of fun running around on the field, just priming it, and then shells ejecting all over the place. I am not a Springer user. I am not a shotgun user. I am horrible with this. When I first went out to play with it, I just was kind of sitting back and just plinking with it just to see how it performed. But that's no way to get tags whatsoever. We know this. We know there's no honor. There's no glory in the back. So the next day at DMV Nerfers, I have the video up on my YouTube channel as a short. If you haven't gotten a chance to see it, but I had a blast running around with this thing. Again, shell ejecting, fires all the kinds of ammos that you would want to use, and then also the fact that it's got rifled shells that you can use. It's got barrel, rifle scarred barrel shell. I don't even know what you call it really, but yeah. So a lot of fun, pretty versatile. Highly recommend for HVZ. I think that would be a lot of fun to do, to use for HVZ, if you can manage this, the shells. But yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about this. Price tag is always debatable. It's all relative, subjective. But I can definitely recommend having a lot of fun if you get an opportunity to get your hands on one of these. So that was a lot of fun. And then I also finally got a chance, and I have to thank Jacob from PKI for sending me a Jericho. And I do want to say I did pay for this, so it wasn't like I get things for free sometimes, but usually not. But yes, the Jericho. I think we all know or have heard about it. Essentially, a automatic air pump launcher and using different shells. The cool thing about this is that it actually was compatible with my Raider, the pump action version of the Jericho. I don't even know what you want to call it, but yes. So fires. These shells are firing 21. I got 2 shells of that. Another one shoots 4 megas, and obviously you can find the prints for the other shells. And like I was saying, it was interchangeable with my Raider shell for Mega XL, and it says max PSI 110. I did 100. I didn't want to do 110. I was too scared. But let's just say 100 is definitely a lot of fun, and you'll see some condensation come from the muzzle, which is a very fun effect. And if you guys have heard a Raider or a Jericho, you already know the sound that comes out of it when you fire a Mega XL. But a lot of fun. Again, preference. I don't know which one I like better, honestly. It does take a little time to get ready, depending on your PSI. But yeah, if you get a chance to check out a Jericho, a lot of fun. And again, that's what it's all about. A lot of fun. So yeah. So if you had a chance to check out any blasters, or you're seeing any blasters, or you're excited for any blasters, please let us know in the chat. Let's take a look. If we have anything, let's see. FNC, the Bullpup, the $400 Zebra. Yeah. That's the one I was talking about. And it looks like we have Grims. Grims, what is up? Good to see you. Good to have you. Alex is saying Boom ran it at Goucher. I'm assuming you're talking about the Stagecoach, which doesn't surprise me. And and yes, no. Good luck with the credit card journey. You know what to do. You understand the assignment. All right. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening here on the Foam Zone. If you haven't done so already, please give us a like, subscribe, thumbs up, and yeah. So at this point, I think it is time to introduce and bring our guest on for this evening. I think many of you are already familiar. If you're up in the Panic area, if you're up in that Northwest Pacific area, you may have heard the name. I definitely have. I've been following on the socials, and the name has floated around. And so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to invite our guest on this evening and to get to know them a little bit more and talk about what they got going on. Again, it's all about outreach, building community, and providing a safe and fun space and time for others, just the same way that we get to enjoy foam flinging. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce our guest for this evening. Welcome, Mr. Tom Harrison, aka Mr. Mind, with Planet Mind. Welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. I hope you guys can hear me. Great to be here.
Loud and clear. We hear you
Awesome.
loud and clear. So, Mr. Mind, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into foam flinging talk.
Cool. The name's Tom Harrison. I'll give you the kind of basic, not the origin, but hey, this is kind of who I am. This is a bit of my bio. My company is Planet Mind. This is my full-time gig. I am a retired attorney. I had a 16-year career, off and on, all litigation on the civil side.
Wow.
I really walked away from that career to pursue fiction writing. Then I pursued a marketing career. Then I pursued a couple other things, came back to the legal profession. And then in the background was running a toys and collectibles online business as a hobby. Decided to make that a full-time gig. Then that led me to a storefront, which in a way has led me to where I am now. So running a play programming company where the foundation is really Nerf.
Very cool. And I have to ask about this toy store. You got to tell me about the toy store.
The toy store was fun until it wasn't. I started it on a $400 experiment back in 2011, I think it was. A summer I just happened to have kind of, I was working full time, and so I had $400 that I didn't really need to go anywhere. I have a son. He's now 18, Michael. I'm buying lots of toys for him, and we're playing all the time. And my then wife turned to me and said, at one point, you either need to stop buying these toys or figure out a way to pay for them. She didn't give me the second option, but I thought that in my mind. So I bought $400 worth of stuff on clearance at a couple of different retail stores and did what I then later found out was retail arbitrage. So I was able to grow that. I was really surprised at the holiday season and how that worked on eBay, and then just turned that into a retail arbitrage to opening up my own account with wholesalers, and then just growing it and growing it. So I grew it until it was kind of self-sustaining as a full-time thing. 2019 was, as we all know, for just about every business in this country, anything you were doing, 2019 was a banner year. And if you were in the pop culture business like I was, it was the best year I'd ever had. And I'm like, all right, 2020 is going to be like even better.
Wah, wah, wah.
Exactly. Exactly. So I was able to pivot and weather the pandemic a bit. Through an SBA loan, I was able to basically double down on the idea of being a toy store. And so I moved from Denver to Washington to be with my partner, my girlfriend, here. And I opened up a brick and mortar store. I filled it with product. It was fun for a bit. And then I realized, oh, I live in a box. Like, oh, I'm going, I'm in the box all day. It wasn't all that fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy about where I'm at now and what I'm
Very
doing.
cool. Well, excellent. Well, again, appreciate you coming on. The second question I usually ask our guests is, how did this all start? What got you into foam flinging? How'd you get into blasters? Tell us the story.
Okay. To properly tell it, I need to go before there were even blasters. Um, I really have kind of a Captain America origin story, but it goes back to before a couple of decades before there was even such a thing as a Nerf blaster. Um, I was 3 months old. My mom was holding me in her arms, and I turned blue. She rushed me to the hospital and got the diagnosis that I had chronic asthma. Um, and this is in the 70s. This is before there were even inhalers. So what that translated to was a lot of different triggers for my condition, and um, constant trips to the hospital. So if I had an attack, my mom would jab me with an adrenaline shot, and then she would have roughly 20 minutes to get me to the ER, or really bad things would happen. And so again, before inhalers, this meant one time when I was an infant, I had an attack. She had to take my brother, my younger brother, drop him off with a neighbor, and then get into her car. And she deliberately sped 110 miles an hour, driving into Chicago, trying to get into Chicago from outside Chicago.
Wow.
And she did that deliberately to get pulled over. And she did. And, you know, angels were looking out for me and for her, because this police officer looked through any racial bias he might have had and said to my mom, just stay with me. And he drove us all the way into that hospital. And, and I was there within the life-saving span of, 15 minutes that I needed. So fast forward, I'm starting school. My mom gave my teacher in kindergarten strict instructions. He is not to play at recess. So my teacher brought me to the parking lot, and she gave me a basketball, and she taught me how to dribble a basketball. So I'm in the parking lot, teacher's parking lot, I'm dribbling a basketball while I'm watching my friends laugh and play at recess. And I think that was a big moment for me, because the reason why play is so important is because it's the one thing that was deprived of me that I could not do as a kid. And it really stung, and it really stuck out to me. Um, I was able to do one thing, which was swimming. And so I took swimming lessons. I got good enough to join a team. It was the one thing that was not aggravating my asthma every time I did it. When I got to my first swim meet, I realized I had another challenge that I had to overcome, and that was anxiety. I had, and I didn't know that this was going to happen. My first swim meet, I threw up before each of my races, and I had like 8 races that morning.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
and so all the meets after that, I am feeling nauseous between my races. Um, And at some point, I said, I'm fed up with this. And I went out into the lobby, and I discovered this thin book called Psychology for Swimmers. And in the first 5 pages, I learned that I was not weird. Like, this was totally normal. It meant I cared. And the rest of the book was about the tips and techniques and tools to overcome and keep myself calm, and then be able to wake up my body at the moment that I needed to. So I actually turned that into, I got so good at it, I turned it into a superpower. I could really just stay calm, and then with just saying a word in my mind, trigger my adrenaline just as I'm getting on the blocks. And that allowed me to really perform above expectations. People are wondering why I could do what I do, and that was really it. I mean, I trained a lot, I overtrained. I trained a lot and worked hard, but it was that mental piece that really helped. Um, so so then that got me into play. So I just way fast forward into why Nerf now, or how I got into Nerf now. Um, I played a lot with my son. I raised him through play. So I had some tough parenting rather. Kind of tough old school parenting. And I didn't want to raise my son that way. So I taught him his values, his lessons, and got him to trust me through play. And that included Nerf at one point when he was the right age. So we would, I just like showered him with a fantastic Nerf arsenal. And we had, all sorts of fun, and fun with his friends. Then, so when I created my toy store, I knew I wanted some Nerf. So I did that. Um, and then I just, some friends, some folks who came into my store kind of tipped me that there was this larger thing outside of the brand Nerf. And so I went online, I'm going to YouTube, I'm discovering people like you and your videos. And I discovered the Foam News Collective. And from the Foam News Collective, I learned in the fall of 2023 that Out of Darts not only was a company, that it was only like 4 hours away from me. And they were doing this open house. So I made the trek. And it was amazing because this whole world that I'd seen online was in physical form. I met Captain Xavier. I met Walcom. I met Luke. I met Dr. Flux. Realized all these guys live right here in the Washington area. Came away with a bag full of 3D parts that I had no idea what these were for. I had to look them up and figure it out. And then that led me to, the rabbit hole that this wonderful rabbit hole that so many of us go through, which is, okay, modding, building, taking apart, learning again, failing, succeeding, failing again, succeeding again, of modding and building. And so I just threw myself into it, and, basically like 36 mod projects and build projects later, I was hooked.
Yeah. No, I think your story is unique in the fact that it kind of evolved out of necessity of being able to essentially play and being able to have that experience that you weren't able to have before. So essentially an outlet, and then passing that on to to your son, and then naturally, organically with the store, and having product there. And then we talked before, but you set up basically kind of a shooting gallery station there, and had a and we'll go into that when we talk. But yeah, I think I think, and then, being provided an opportunity to see that this is actually tangible and accessible, and you can go to, Out of Dart's warehouse and meet Dr. Flux. But not only that, you can go to your local events in your area, and, whether that be at Panic or Captain Xavier's or Waffle with Silver Fox and those crews. So I think it's a very unique position. And I gotta apologize. My Ray-Ban Metas, my clear ones actually ran out of battery, so I had to switch over to my sunglass ones. I'm not trying to be cool or anything. But yes, that's what happened for the wardrobe change. Out of
No
battery.
problem. I
Something's
thought
always
you
running
had
out of
bright
battery.
lights in your face.
No. I'm a vampire. But yeah, no, I think again, that's kind of the unique part about our hobby. Again, is like, look at all the people that are in the chat, man. I mean, like this, it's pretty crazy. Like these are, it's not nobody. Not to say that our hobby is filled with people that are insignificant, but we got Joe Fox and CR Nerf in the same chat room here. So
Yes.
again, a very unique position to be in. I want to say that Margaret Smith, if that name is familiar, says hello, and that today's actually the anniversary of the old brick and mortar store down in Everett. So
Wow.
yeah,
I didn't realize that. I
yeah,
didn't realize
so
that today is the day when I officially opened. It was like almost 48 hours nonstop work, very little sleep, just to make that final push to get it open. And yeah, it was a fun ride. It was a fun ride.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, we operate the Maryland Foam Alliance as an LLC, but we still kind of very much run it like a club and a nonprofit. And as a private contractor, what I do for videography, I don't have a brick and mortar, so my logistics are really kind of mobile and doing administrative work, home office kind of stuff, and editing in the home studio. But yeah, I think anyone that has had to go through the logistics and challenges of setting up of any kind of brick and mortar store or business, you really can't appreciate what goes and what's involved with that. I don't think, unless you actually do it yourself. So I commend you. I only can imagine. Again, I'm a contractor. I have a home office. I would love to set up something again, kind of like B&B, or what you're doing, and see what I could do with that. But yeah, no, just it's tough. It's a challenge. And again, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and it would just be the way.
Right,
But
right. And I would add to that, it's okay not to do it.
Yeah.
It is not a fun thing for everyone. It is okay.
Yeah.
If you have a dream of creating your own brick and mortar store, really, really examine that dream first to make sure.
Absolutely. And again, I think if that is something you're looking into doing, there's plenty of resources, and there are people within our community. Again, Devin Tilley and B&B that you can always reach out to and find some questions. I know. I think Foam Wars, or one of the New Jersey guys, Zelkos, is a brother or cousin or something, runs it up there. So again, we have resources, and it's not just our. I like to emphasize, it's not just our hobby community, but there's a whole other side. Again, like, Sophie Lightning's got a whole mass market appeal audience. Same with PDK and Aaron Esser doing blaster games essentially for their videos, and that's kind of how I got into it. Again, I kind of found these faux Call of Duty running around with blaster games, and I just thought it was the coolest thing that they can make these videos with these blasters running around doing that. And then you find out, oh, there's modified blasters, and and then the rabbit hole. Everyone knows the rabbit hole. So, but yeah. No, Devin wants to mention Nerf Fund. So yeah, Seth as well. So there's a lot of resources, I think, for people today to talk to, if that's something you're interested in. But again, I think we are within with good company, and we're doing everything that we can. And we were talking to Al the Geek before we got on the stream. But yeah, I think there's a sentiment that we are building something, and really this is kind of the beginning. And foam flinging's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, but the actual evolution of where we are right now, I think we're at the forefront and it's beginning. Comp is starting to become extremely popular. There's a lot of
Yes.
opportunities for HVZ games that are spreading off campuses, in malls and high schools and things like that. So, there's a lot of growth, I think, that is coming our way, and I'm excited for it. Unfortunately, my tablet died, so I don't have any comments for this section. Let me see if I can remedy it. Actually, I think we can just take the little lighting situation we have behind me, and the set will survive. I'll just get some power to this back up eventually. But yeah, so tell us about how you got into your local scene and what the local scene is like around you, and how you guys fling foam together there.
Yep. After that out of darts open house, I tried to run some stuff here in Everett right next to my store. So this is still at the toy store. I believe, if I've got it right. And then in a field right next to my toy store, I was trying to run some games, and I was happy to have maybe 20 people at the most show up to these. And I'm using all stock Nerf brand blasters. I don't think I'd even really discovered Goodwill, and thrifting at that point. Then I set my sights on the first on making it down to Fort Borst. And so I made it down there in September. I guess September of 2023. Went to my first game. Had a great time. I met Joe. So shout out to Joe Fox. Then that's Captain Xavier's game. That's the Panic game. Met all these wonderful people, Nick and Oliver, and Mighty Shrub, all these folks. Even before that, I'd gone to a University of Washington, a UW HVZ game. So I had gotten a sense of what was possible. And at that UW game, it was HVZ for 3 consecutive days, just playing for like 4 or 5 hours. 100 people were playing at one point. I mean, I was kind of blown away, like, that it works at that scale. And we're playing with stock blasters, and it still worked, even with stock. I'm still gonna get on their case about not having eye protection. But, if you brought your own, you wear it. But they're not requiring it. And I'm like, dude. Anyway, at Fort Borst, it was fun. Even though I rolled my ankle and ended up spraining my foot during that Fort Borst game, I still had a good time. And I set my sights on Ragnar Oktoberfest. So I went to Ragnar Oktoberfest, and this is 2024. I was able to justify, like spending the money and doing RAG, because my son, he was a senior in college senior at high school at that point. And so I said, let's do a college trip. So we are checking out colleges like Stanford and a couple other schools in that area. And then on Friday, we drop in to San Jose for Ragnarok. My son was overwhelmed. I mean, to the point of like, who are all these? This is geeky. Like, this is not my scene. He was just kind of like, hey, because my son's a nice, cool kid. Um, it was great though to see everybody, to see King of Games, and then to connect to all the California folks, and we played, and by the end of it, I mean, Michael is having a blast. I mean, we look ridiculous. We all look ridiculous at these HVZ, at these big national games. So I looked equally ridiculous, but I didn't look ridiculous because everybody else looked ridiculous. So I look cool, and it was just awesome. I mean, I almost made it to the last stand on Saturday. Um, my son did make it to the last stand on Saturday. We had a fantastic time that Sunday. That really gave me the inspiration, or the to try. Hey, if the opportunity presented itself, let me see if I can do games in Everett. It would be really nice. Let me do it. I found out that the Everett Mall here would be closing in a year. And as a result, they were offering real, just dirt cheap, amazing deals for renting event space, including 7,600 square feet of event space that was a hallway around the old closed down theater. And I had to get on the phone with them to make sure, hey, what's the catch? There was no catch. All I had to do was provide insurance. So the insurance was actually more costly than the rental.
Sure.
Once I decided I wanted to do that, then I really reached out to Panic. I said, this is what I want to do. And they rushed in to say, yeah, we'll be there. But that Out of Darts provided, and Dr. Flux provided the darts. Silver Fox Industries, you came up with a ton of loaner blasters. X-Fox Games provided all the cover. And so for that November 2024 battle, I had student volunteers, but I wasn't all that organized about it. So I just want to set the scene. Like, this is my first real event. Events before that, I'd maybe had 20 people. I had it all set up, but I didn't know all that much about game modes. I'd done a little bit of research. 125 people showed up.
Oh my goodness. For your first event.
For my first event, thanks to Panic and the community. So that was like 50, 60 people. Then there were another 60 people coming from that were fairly new to Nerf, just coming in, families, individuals, groups of friends coming in to play. A big shout out also to Phone News Collective, because they did. I sent them a press release because I met KT, and he ran it on their show. So a big shout out to them. So my inexperience almost broke the game, but it was intense. It was so much fun, and I let myself be led rather than me trying to lead the next games. I just kept allowing myself to be a learner, a student of how these games run. So folks like Mighty Shrub and Nick and Oliver and Robin, they taught me how to moderate, how to organize, how to ask for help. And then I did my part of asking for sponsorship and asking for financial help. And that really panned out. I went through a process and then and applied for a grant, and I was awarded that grant in December and January by the Community Foundation of Snohomish County as a gun violence prevention program.
Wow.
as a result, and I hesitate to give numbers, but my girlfriend, has schooled me. Like, we need to talk about the numbers here. So I received a grant for $28,000. That allowed me to fund and run it as a series, as a program. It allowed me to then enroll youth serving organizations to bring their members and come play for free. And so, and to run it at a more professional level, to actually pay a small stipend to moderators for coming there and spending their whole day. Yeah, so that's what I've done. I think that's my, kind of like journey with the local scene. So I still go to horse games whenever I can. I go to waffle games when I feel like I've got the right arsenal. I have to have, my mod stuff has to be up to snuff. But I love these guys. I love the community. I really, really do. It's great.
No, that's amazing and really cool. Actually, I think you may be the first one we've had on. And we've thought about this in Maryland, and it's come up a few times. But and as someone, I do business, and I think it's a great idea. And I think people should look more into it. But yeah, essentially, finding a way that you can get a grant or get funding or find a partnership. I have an ultimate goal of partnering up with a charity for Parkinson's research. My father recently passed away from complications of Parkinson's this past July. So I'm kind of out for blood at this point, and I want to make it my mission to, hopefully eventually partner up or find some kind of funding where we can, provide an opportunity to, not only fling foam and, do an event, but, bring awareness and, really have a larger than Nerf foam flinging goal ultimately. But yeah, I think a grant or finding some kind of nonprofit or some kind of funding partnership is definitely something that people should be looking into. And I would definitely like to talk a little bit more about that after at some point and see more details about that. But
would love to.
I think people are traditionally thinking, okay, I have to do a grassroots thing, basically do it by myself, find some darts, find some blasters, get some friends together and do it that way. But I think there's a bigger picture and there's much bigger potential. And again, I said it, we're just kind of at the beginning, figuring things out. And, we really kind of get to build this foundation and set the tone. Super exciting. AJ said that they looked into a grant and it's legit. You have to structure the club in a certain way for sure. I wanted to mention, you were talking about your name dropping. I'm very excited to have Mighty Shrub on the stream at some point. I reached out, had the pleasure of meeting and playing with them at RAG this year. Super cool vibe and want to have them on the show. So I reached out about a week and a half ago, and I actually have to reply to the message now and confirm, but they will be a future guest on. So shout out to Mighty Shrub and of course everyone up in that area. I think it's great because again, you have Out of Darts, Xbox, and they're providing darts and prints and things for the events. And again, like, I don't know where else you're going to get that kind of community and support. And again, you kind of started in 2023, 24 is kind of when you started rocking and rolling. But, right off the bat, you got support from Out of Darts, Dr. Flux, Silverfly, just the biggest names in the hobby, So,
just kind of stumbled upon it. Yeah. Well, you're going to have a great time with Mighty Shrub. They are fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
a lot of
uh,
fun.
Here's my Mighty Shrub story. Um, I'm struggling with these games. It's like January and I'm still not because the attendance is great, but it's the organization. It's there's a delay getting to the game started. Um, we're having mod meetings and I'm still not quite not quite getting it. So I show up to, I think it's the January game, no, December game, and at the mall, and Joe wasn't able to come, so I didn't have that cover. So I said, well, I'll just build it, thinking, how hard is it and how long will it take me? I had PVC pipe, and I thought I could do it in a few hours. No,
No.
just no, just no. So I show up when I'm like, well, 5 pieces of cover will be fine. No. And Mighty Shrub took me aside and looked at me, and they're tall, looked at me, said, you have to ask for help. And I got it. Like the message finally got through. Um, that there are people, that our hobby, we have all the stuff. So but you have to ask for it. No one's going to throw 30 pieces of their uh, of cover in their car just in case. So you got to coordinate and you got to ask for help. So I need to get over myself, and I feel like I really have. Yeah, I'm blessed. The PNW Nerf scene is fairly concentrated. It's cool. Really good vibes. I think the West Coast scene in general is really cool and cool vibes.
Yeah, I want to come where you guys are. I want to trade. I'm just joking. It's okay here in Maryland, but it
I,
sounds really fun over there. So,
I'm looking at
one
you
day.
guys as the model. I'm looking at you guys as a model.
I think we're all in trouble then if we're the. um, so let's talk about what you got going on with Planet Mind, and what what,
Cool,
what you're doing, and the programs and things that you got going on for that. And actually,
cool.
let's talk about where the name Mr. Mind actually came from, and Planet Mind, and then let's
Oh,
talk about yeah.
great. My toy store was My Toy Store, and that is because my son, who's really the spirit and the inspiration for the toy business, um, he is fluent in Mandarin. Michael in Mandarin is My, MEI. So I just westernized it and went MY. Um, so I really wanted to keep that ode to my son in the this play programming business. So Planet Mind, but then I got to be cool and put a Y in there instead. Um, which I'm learning is a little makes it a little tricky when you try and do a website and tell people about a website, because I'd say, oh, my website is planetmind.com, but with a Y. And as soon as you got to do that, then like you've lost somebody. So my website is problasterplay.com.
Okay.
I'm having to, you know, massage my way through the branding of things. But I'm proud that I'm able to do that kind of ode to my son, because had he really showed me how important and deep and essential play is. One little short story is that this is elementary school. He had a little bullying incident where the some kids from an older grade bothered he and his friends. And so we go to the school, we meet with some folks, and we figure out what actually happened. Um, And then he loved flag football. So I'm teaching him how to play football. We get him on a league. He's playing. He's good. Loves it. He starts bringing a football to recess. And he just kind of holds it up and says, "Hey, who wants to play?" So people in his class start playing football with him. And he's teaching them how to play. He's teaching them the rules. Then kids from the other classes start coming in and wanting to play. And so then they start teaching them how to play. So everybody's playing together. Then those older grades wanted to play. And so they start playing. No more bullying incidents. That's, and he kind of showed that, or, relearn. He showed that lesson to me. If I knew it, he showed it to me in a different way, that just how powerful play is.
Yeah.
And when I get groups of people together, what I see over and over again is the same thing I saw with myself and my son when we would play. I see parents talking respectfully and playfully to their children. I mean, parents talking that way with their children. I see parents guiding their children. I see the children trusting and like looking up to their parents. I see fast friendships forming on the battlefield between adults and with kids. We expect it with kids. We do, because we remember. But I see it with adults. And I'm like, wait, what Michael and I had, that it replicates over and over and over again? And it's like, yes, that's what play does. Yeah, so that's the story behind the name.
Yeah. So what is Planet Mind doing then? Like, tell us what you're doing.
Gotcha. I've really dialed it into 3 programs that I'm delivering, 3 core offerings. The one is the signature Mind games. And so that is a ticketed monthly Blaster Battle series. This season, we will be at the Everett Boys and Girls Club. The mall is, closed down to reopen as an outdoor mall, so that's not a venue. But gyms are great venues, as we know, indoor venues. So the Everett Boys and Girls Club is a great facility. So that kicks off actually this Sunday. Season 2 kicks off. We will have kind of this usual fun, great game modes. We'll have professional facilitation, mostly by me. And then we've also got, I always I look out for cool things that we can add. We will have a timed target course at this Blaster Battle,
Ooh, cool.
courtesy of Dead Man's Foam. So I'm going to do a little show and tell. Dead Man's Foam provided 5 of his high noon targets. So we're going to set those up as a timed course, and people can get their plane. Get their ping on, as Captain Xavier says. So that's going to be really fun, in addition to the fun games. So we do that once a month through April. Second core offering, or second new offering, is I've partnered with First Baptist Church of Everett, which is in downtown Everett, to do monthly free blaster battles. We did our first one last Sunday. It was really fun. Just making the game mode simple. It's a 3-hour event, but I think there's a need to provide an entry point, an easy entry point for families and young folks, mostly young folks, to the hobby. And kind of where you don't quite feel that thing that I felt sometimes going to games, where it's like, hey, I thought the Nerf thing I got off the shelf is cool. And then you go and you're seeing all these 3D printed things. You're like, I didn't even know that existed. I didn't even know it could shoot that straight and that far. Like, what am I doing? So I like having, an entry point and being able to really kind of play with low FPS, simple game modes, and just have fun with it. Third offering, and I find maybe it's a lawyer thing or maybe it's the way I was raised in my life, but I end up looking for what's missing. What's the piece that's missing from whatever this thing is? And I think what's missing is um, an easier way for kids and adults to learn how to mod and to build. What is this whole thing about? So that you don't have to just do it with yourself and maybe a buddy, or just yourself and a bunch of YouTube videos like I had to. So once a month I do, well, not once a month, but I've put out a full schedule of 5 different types of Build a Blaster workshops. The intro one is, and so when you go to a workshop, you're going to get a bag, and it's going to be filled with the blaster that you need to do, that you're going to reshell, and the 3D printed parts, and even some other bits and bobs that you'll need. And then within 2 hours, everyone makes this. And so that's the intro course, where you get to make this Genko Mega Works reshell, which I love, by the way. It's like fantastic. I mean, this is fun to bring to a game. Courtesy of sponsorship by Xbox Games, nice. I have the 102 kits. They just arrived. So starting in 2 weeks, and running basically 2 times a month, you'll be able to take that X-Shot Micro. This, and you'll reshell it into a revolver. The 103 course that's the ambitious one. In 3 hours, we'll do the reshell for the Genko MegaWorks Talon Mag Fed version. So that should be fun. I also have these 200 level courses. 201 is Intro to Modding on the motorized side. So people will learn how to mod a Strife, which I think is one of the best blasters, period. And then second, the 202 course will be an actual 3D build. So my plan is for it to be the free runner by chance. So everybody will get a kit, and in 3 hours we'll get it done.
Very cool. Well, I mean, that sounds essentially like I don't even know how you would describe it. It's almost like 3 different clubs essentially, and doing 3 different things, but all foam flinging related. That's awesome. Yeah. For us, we we have the 3 Maryland groups in our area, and we like to think that the Boomstick Mods group is kind of the try hard, the go hard, super competitive group. And then our Southern Maryland group is ages 7 and up. So that's kind of the family's introduction. And then we have DMV Nerfers, which is local to me. And that's kind of a mix of both we have a comp side, so all the tryhards and competitive players go on that side typically, and then more of the casual players or some of the introductions will play on the main field. So that's how we manage that. And then every occasionally once a month, it used to be, it's a little bit more sparse out. I would have people come over for a mod party. I don't know how much modding actually was getting done at
Right.
those things, but not anything like having an actual course prerequisite schedule that you offer. I think that's super cool. I've seen CR Nerf offer summer camp programs, but yeah, having that facet and aspect of the hobby of outside of your regular blaster battle that you go to, or your large scale event is super cool. I will say the mod, build a blaster portion of RAG that I attended this year, and Xbox and Out of Dart sponsored, was awesome. It was really cool. It was literally exactly what you described. People sitting, getting a kit and then putting it together and figuring it out. And then, in our case, we were doing a little rocket fold by Turek. But, it took about half hour, an hour, depending your skill level. I did cheat. I do have to thank Chance for cheating for me and just building it for me. I was like, Chance, help. And he's like, "Oh," put it together. 5 minutes later, I had a little rocket fold. So
right. No,
and poor
that's
Maritime
part of it.
Foam. Yeah, and I'm seeing Amy, Xbox, putting hers together, and Chance is already done. But no, it's really cool. Like, just having that experience at RAG, I can only imagine, having something like that that you're offering, and would like to see more of that. Just around, even if it is just, inviting people over to your place, and but having an actual kid and then kind of going through the motions and learning about that's what it's all about.
I definitely didn't invent this stuff. I was definitely inspired by Dr. Flux, doing it at Ragnarok in 2024, as well as CR Nerf. Once I oh, he does this. Okay, I can do this too. There's something there. I ran 2 workshops already. It is fantastic what happens. So yes, I'm the facilitator, but yes, I have to provide things. But yes, I'm guiding people. But in order for it to work, you also need guidance and to be able to guide the person next to you. And that's the magic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The friendships and the connection that happens in those couple of hours is just so cool to watch. Also the self-confidence. We have opportunities to build things, but I know for me in my life, I kind of stumbled upon them. So it's nice to have an organized system, an organized process to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you kind of said it, and meeting the people and, the camaraderie and the bonding that is a result of it. And again, I don't know where else you get that. I mean, I'm sure there are other places, but this is really cool.
This is really cool. This is really cool.
So normally I asked this earlier in the show, but just organically our discussion. But I want to ask you, at this point, you started out doing litigation, and then you opened up a toy shop, and then that evolved into, what you're doing with Planet Mind, and having these different offerings. What do you think it is about blasters, or the hobby, or just in general, that you love about it, and that is keeping you here and keeping you invested, and keeping you to going on to season 2, 3, 4, 5, who knows how long? What is it about foam flinging that you love?
Got you. Boy, I think there's kind of a tagline here. You come for the gadgets, but you stay for the friends. It's something like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely was drawn in by the gadgetry. These are things that shoot things. And they're mechanical and they're motorized and they seem magic. And then there are all these different layers of magic to it. For example, one layer of magic is there's a sewing layer of magic. So in order to be able to have a a proper loadout, I decided to like thrift some and came across some bicycle vests. And I was like, maybe I can do something with this so I can put molly panels, kind of like what I've seen. And my girlfriend's mom taught me how to sew, and we put molly, strips. We put webbing in the right pattern, and so now I can wear that and have a loadout. So that's part of the gadgetry. That's part of the allure is you're safe to try and safe to build and safe to just do stuff, and it's cool. Then kind of underlying that piece of the calming effect or the connective effect of play. Just I never get tired of seeing that. And never get I'm I'm always surprised still by it. It's just a wonderful thing to see. For example, I threw a free battle at my local park, just a few blocks down from me, as a thank you to the successful Mall Blaster Battles series. So I did my whole marketing thing, and I said, oh, well, because it's at a park and it's a community event and it's free, I will invite my local representatives as well, including the mayor of Everett. She was nice enough to say yes, so she showed up.
Wow.
And I had remarks prepared, and I asked her to make some remarks. What I didn't expect was for her to arrive, start talking to people, the kids and the adults, and pick up a blaster and be like, hey, this is all right, I'm going to use this. And so I got a game going real quick, and she was out there in the mix leading a squad.
That's awesome.
To victory. Yeah, sorry, Tim. I'll just say this. Sorry, Tim. You are sorry about the hit that you took. I know it stung. But it was all for a good cause. And so I just love that. Like that's definitely one of the things. Like all of us play. It is a human. It's an animal thing. It's not specific to humans. It is part of our biology to teach and connect one another through play.
Yeah.
One thing I learned, because I got into the wonky research as I started doing grant writing and seeking sponsorship, is the reason we have the minds that we have is because of the complicated and more sophisticated movement that we do. So when we started throwing, our brains had to evolve. When we walked upright, our brains had to evolve for that. So the mind didn't evolve kind of independent or just evolve. It's actually because of the way we move.
Right.
And so there's a reason why we like shooting things. It's because it's like throwing. It's our minds, our senses actually develop to do that. Yeah, so that's the other reason why Nerf. It is. It's very, very, very deeply biologically cool. I love Nerf also because it's non-elimination based. You can be totally silly. Silly, like we've all been to the games and we just start giggling. Why is it that I'm using, like I love the Nightingale. I love my blasters that are cool and accurate. But why is it when everybody's using awfuls that everybody is having the time of their lives?
Yeah.
When we're all giggling? It's just because it's play. So I think those are that really gets down to it. Like why Nerf.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the innovation and the modding potential is the initial draw for a lot of people when they get into it. You know, they'll get a blaster and they'll go on Etsy and see, oh, there's 3D printed parts that I can get for this blaster, and then they find Coop and Aaron Esser and everyone else that's online doing videos, and then hopefully they will go online and hopefully one day the World Foam Alliance and
Right.
type in, where's the local blaster club, and and then that'll connect everyone. But yeah, I think really aside from community and aside from the innovation, uh, it's kind of what you're saying, innately, biologically, the act of what we are doing is essentially play. It's physical movement, it's hand-eye coordination, it's going back to our hunting and gathering nature, and getting us physically active and engaging with each other and building
Yeah.
bonds and relationships as a result. And again, you're not going to get that from, I mean, you can, but I don't think it's going to be the same as, playing Fortnite, in the basement, or,
Right. No, it's
even if
not.
you go outside in the backyard with your brother or sister or family member or whoever, or even by yourself, just to plink, a couple of cups, in the backyard. There's something about that that you can't replicate, and then you
That's right.
add on the fact that you do have the innovation, and then you do have the community involvement, and a very deep rabbit hole. Yeah,
Right. Right.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. I would add to
it's not
that
surprising. Yeah.
I would add to that the intergenerational aspect to it. So I do think we can, as human beings, we can overcomplicate things. And in this country, we can really overcomplicate things. And we've overcomplicated things with sports. So in order to keep sports fair, we organize into age brackets. In order to keep sports fair, we organize by gender. Um, and we then have all these different, then we've gone even farther, and it is by skill level. So if this is beginner, then you can graduate to this, then you can graduate to this, then you can graduate to this. And there is a cost now to all of that, to get to those levels. Nerf is uh, a wonderful thing where every time I'm playing it, there are 3 generations on the field. So unlike sports, because we're letting the foam do the work, and because it's an easy skill level, and because the equipment is adaptive, because you can create game modes that are adaptive, because you don't have to divide things by gender or by skill level. Generally. That was put to the test on Sunday, so I'll circle back to that. Um, Really, anybody can play. Um, and when we're all playing, it's so much more powerful. It's the joy is more powerful, and the connection is more powerful. It's complicated, it gets messy, but because it's all of us doing it, it it is this extra thing that the kind of the superstructure of sports has stripped away. you know like, look, I'm not a professional football player. My day, I will never play tackle football again, right? I'm not going to do that. But um I guess where I'm going with that is, why do we have to why do we think it's so much fun to be in a stadium with thousands of people just watching something, and people are clashing into each other at this, and they've created these, and they're doing it at a high skill level. Like, why do we say that that's more fun? I guess this is the thing. Why is that more valued than what I saw at RAG in the comp, where I saw people doing action, John Wick action moves on a field 10 feet from me? And I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've seen. And then I go to Waffle, and I can do that. I'm rushing for the King of the Hill button, and I'm ducking and moving and I'm dodging. And I'm like, that's infinitely cooler. Infinitely cooler. Yeah. So, and to circle back to, yeah, there are some limits to the ages in our hobby. At the free event on Sunday, we introduced the newest member of the Nerf community. Blaster Baby is an infant being held by its mom in a Bjorn with iPro on. I think that might be it might be pushing it. I think it's a little over. I don't think we're good for babies.
We have age limits on the box, right? What's right. Nerf Junior?
Right. So we might have to have some, hard limits, not recommended. Like, hey, you're going to have to be able to.
Got to start him young. They're going to learn.
But yeah. Or if he can carry a shield, then maybe it's okay.
Shield baby.
Shield baby. Right.
That's awesome. Well, I think we're pretty much headed at that time frame.
Right, cool.
But I want to give you an opportunity for some final comments to talk about Planet Mind, talk about play in general. Cool. Any final things that you want to let people know about yourself, Planet Mind, or just anything in general?
All right, I'll do some little random shout outs. I want to shout out and start giving Silly Butts his due. So, he gave us the silly shell, which is amazing. But this is definitely one of my favorite blasters of this year and just period. I loved it. I did a review for it. I think it is amazing work, and I think the work that he does is amazing. So, way to go, Silly Butts.
Salute to Silly.
Salute to Silly Butts. Xbox Games, want to give you another shout out. So you've given me some really good goodies that now I'm looking forward to. It's on my Christmas list to get a Brute Pro so I can hook it up. Nice. It looks so good.
It's really good.
And I'm going to install his kit too.
Yeah, I still got to install mine. I am actually thinking about buying another one to install it because I kind of want to keep one stocked. And you can never have too many belts.
Right. Exactly. Dual wielding in two different ways. It seems right. Well, if people want to get involved, one, come to my games. So you can come to problasterplay.com and find out the full schedule. You can sign up for Build a Blaster workshops. You can sign up for Mind Games. So I'm still kind of a local business. So if you're local within the PNW area, hey, come out to a game, sign up for a workshop. I have gift cards available, so you can give the gift of play this season. I also have play passes available. So you can buy a 6-shot play pass, and I got a Black Friday deal going on that, or you can buy an infinite play pass, let go of all limits, and do that for this season. And it also helps if you increase the visibility of the work I do. So subscribe. I'm at Planet Mind on Instagram. I've got a Facebook page, Planet Mind Play Lab. I've got a YouTube channel, Myster Mind, and it's Y's instead of I's. And so just kind of spread the gospel of play and help me spread the gospel of play. That would be helpful. I also love emails, DMs, Join the Panic Discord channel. Join my Discord channel. Join the World Foam Alliance, because that digital community is powerful and so cool. Like, it's awesome to be able to get advice, throw out ideas, learn about mods, and just get into the mix. Yeah, so yeah, support my business would be great. Support the visibility of what I do, and then just join. Just get in this community. It is so cool and fun. It's awesome to be in a place where you're just welcomed for who you are.
Absolutely, 100% facts. Tom, I want to thank you again. I appreciate you, and I really appreciate all the hard work you've been putting in, and it's in such a little amount of time. And again, if you guys have not had a chance, please hop over immediately to the socials and give some love to Planet Mind. Fantastic
Cool.
work. Keep up. Yep,
Sorry, I have one more plug.
do it.
One final plug. And that is, I partnered with my partner, and we're doing also a different thing, like to kind of whip these male adults into shape and and soften them up and get us ready to actually embrace play. And so we're doing a men's retreat. We're doing that at the end of May. So you can find out about that.
Yep.
On my website. You can also find out about that on iloveitwhen.org. End of May in Everett. If you're feeling resistance to play, then we should work together in order to let's do the work so that we can start having some fun.
That's right. And it's all about fun. And that's what I preach. It's all about fun. And you never know until you try it. There is no flexing in Nerf, I like to say, or there's only so much flexing you can do in Nerf, I'll say. Right. Yeah. But again, I want to thank everyone that joined us this evening in the live chat. AJ, Alex, of course, CR Nerf, Xbox, General Strife. Al the Geek, Devin Tilley, B&B Blasters, Margaret, thank you so much for your support. I know I'm missing people, but again, I want to thank you guys. I think the important thing is maybe we're all just a little bit weird, and that's okay. But we're all weird together. So thank you guys for joining us this evening. We'll be back next week with Al the Geek and Captain Xavier for another fun episode of Get Off My Lawn. And then I'll be back the week after that with our next guest, who could or could not be, but hopefully is Mighty Shrub. And we'll be back then. But again, we're all a little weird, but you are not alone. Be kind, love your family, and don't forget to dart sweep. Have a good one, guys.